Come on, Paula, where are you? Come on, Paula. I'm ready for you.
I'm coming for you in a minute, Emma. I am coming for you any minute now.
She's taking her time.
Right, here I come.
Here she comes.
Come on then. Come on then. Give it to me, Emma. Come on. Come on. Let's have this. Let's properly get this fucking finished. Let's get it done once and for all.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Right, that's my workout for the day
Woo!
done.
Mamma mia. We're getting a hot flash
Yeah.
now.
Oh, it's
What's
very
the point
hot.
of all this? Well, this is the rumble in the jungle. We want to tell you the thing that Emma and I have been disagreeing about and how we came to an agreement. But it got quite heated at times.
Well, it did. It did, and then we realised, actually. Then we realised. We weren't arguing about boxing, Janine. So what were we arguing about?
Right. So we had a conversation a few weeks back. And I was going through some strategic planning and talking about what we're going to do in the next sort of 90 days. And Emma said, oh, no, we can't do that. That would be far too salesy.
Right. So our argument is about not being salesy or not being seen to be salesy.
But actually, we have completely different definitions about what being salesy is all about. And you'll have noticed this week in Thriving Therapists some really interesting questions and answers to our poll when I went in and asked about why some people expect to get your therapy services for free.
Right.
So that has opened up a lot of conversations with you around selling and being salesy and what that would mean. But you explain first what you mean by salesy and why it's something you don't want to be seen as being.
Right, I certainly will. But for those of you who don't know us, I'm Emma Sargent.
I'm Paula MacArthur.
And we are the co-founders of Therapy Marketing Schools. And we help therapists to build thriving practices. So that's what we're all about. So it's very important for me not to be seen as salesy. And what I mean by salesy is not being authentic. Is somebody thinking, oh, Emma doesn't really mean that. She doesn't maybe believe what she's saying. She doesn't, maybe, you know, she's out, she thinks that the money is more important than the service. And also like maybe people feeling duped in some way. I mean, I would just be devastated if people thought that about me. And so that's my definition of salesy. What's yours, Paula?
Yeah, but just a minute. Are you any of those things?
No.
So are you trying to dupe anybody?
No.
Are you not being genuine?
I hope not.
Are you trying to sell something that you don't think is very good?
No.
Are you trying to sell something that you can't deliver on?
No.
Are you trying to sell something that is not priced correctly?
No.
Okay. So there's a lot of fear going on there around stuff that isn't actually real.
Yes, there is. And I think, you know, I think that's because as an individual, I am, you know, quite sensitive.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of a good thing because that makes me understand all our lovely therapists who are also very sensitive people and sensitive to what people think about them. And that's what made us think this is really an interesting conversation to have, because Paula's version of what salesy is different, isn't it?
So you try to say I'm perhaps a little less sensitive than you are. We just approach things in a different way. I'm a little less sensitive. See, when somebody says to me the word salesy, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. So in my head, if I'm being salesy, I'm trying to sell the good stuff that I've got to the people that it can help.
Right.
So salesy doesn't have to be a bad behavior.
No.
For me, if somebody who's enthusiastically salesy, feels passionate about what they do,
Right.
knows that it can help other people, and is giving them the opportunity to buy it. Because what a lot of people in business, and particularly therapists who are certainly not in the business of therapy initially to make lots of money, you know, we know you're not. If you came out of university or out of another career and thought, okay, let me think the career I can go into where I can make the big bucks as quickly as possible, it ain't going to be therapy, is it?
No,
it's really not. Okay, so
no.
We get that. Okay, but here's the thing that I'm very passionate about. That if you're not able to build a sustainable, profitable therapy business, you're not going to be able to help as many people. You're not going to be able to have therapy as your full-time job.
And we're both very passionate about that.
Yeah.
You know, so actually we were arguing about the definition of salesy.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I mean, we're actually completely on the same page.
We're on the same page, yeah. Although, a little caveat here, I feel that I occasionally have to push Emma's boundaries so that she's slightly out of her comfort zone in terms of salesiness. So I would be the one in our team to suggest that we make it perhaps more easy for therapists to buy from us. Whereas Emma is still slightly, I just don't want to be seen as a yucky salesy.
Well, and so here's where I get her back. Sometimes I have to rein you in a bit.
Yeah, she does.
See, I have to go, no.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
And she says, no, you're right.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we get the balance right, and that's the point.
Yeah.
But for most therapists, our suggestion is that you're probably falling on the side of being too sensitive about it, and too sensitive about it. And so from a position of being a little bit sensitive about it, what I would say is that unless you are feeling uncomfortable about what you are charging, then you are not charging enough.
Let that one brew a little bit. Now,
Yes.
if you've got any comments or any questions for us, just pop them into the comment box and I can have a look at them here. Hello to Amanda, Elsa, Janine, Naira, Caroline, Naira, I apologize, Suzanne, lots of people joining us from all over the world. And I imagine because you're all therapists, you perhaps all have the same fear that Emma has over being seen as salesy, according to her definition.
According to my definition,
of salesy, which is, as we said before, is inauthentic, is trying to dupe somebody, trying to sell something that you don't really believe in, trying to sell something that isn't worth the money. But don't you all know, guys, the value of what you do? It is just massive.
But, you know, can I just say, I know that I won't come across as my version of salesy when I'm talking about therapy marketing school, because I absolutely am passionate about it and believe in it 100%. I believe that we are completely and utterly, you know, offering value and, you know, amazing stuff. And by the way, you know, I've been in sales the whole of my life since I left university. And there have been times when I know that I've had to be salesy by my definition, because I wasn't really very sure about the product. I mean, I used to sell advertising space, for goodness sake. There was a lot less passionate about that than I am now. And of course, so now I can just be myself. So hooray. So, you know, one of our messages for you today is be yourself, and you know that you can help people and transform their lives. I mean, you know, we wanted to just mention the poll that we put up this week.
Yeah, so we asked, why do you think some clients expect to be charged nothing or very, very low prices for your therapy? And there's some really, really interesting things that came up right across the board in terms of how other people regard therapy.
Yeah.
So some people think that therapy is so almost esoteric and special that you shouldn't even mention it in the same sentence as something as base as money. Okay?
I mean, that's shocking, isn't it?
And there's more than one person that agreed that's the way
Right.
that some people talk about therapy. Now, the thing is, if you want to keep helping as many people as possible, you need to make money from this therapy business.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might, therapy and what it can do and transform for all your clients might transcend money, but it sure as hell is not going to transcend money for long if you don't have the money to pay your bills.
It's not going to transcend the requirement to pay your mortgage.
No.
Or to invest in marketing.
No.
Or any of the other things that you need to run a financially viable life.
Absolutely. And if people don't understand, if your clients don't understand that actually you have to make a living, then move on, find different clients.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same for us. If people don't understand that we have to charge because this is our business.
Yeah.
Then that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't have a profitable business that can support the two of our financial needs, then we have to stop this and go and do something else.
Yeah.
Because there's any number of other things we could go and do, but we don't want to.
No.
And the understanding is we need to make this business viable. So we need to be salesy in a good way. We need to put what we've got for offer out on show. We need to open up our shop and give people the opportunity to buy from it in a very, very precise and niched way. So a little bit of
transparent way.
Very transparent. So a little bit of we harp on about niching all the time, don't we? And for those of you that are new or have just joined, it's Paula and Emma from Therapy Marketing School, and we help therapists to get more clients to grow thriving businesses. And we harp on a lot about niching. And the reason we do it is because it's very, very difficult to market. I help everybody with everything. Where it's much easier to market a very specific outcome for a very specific group of people. Let me give you a metaphor. Always have to have a metaphor.
Oh, we love a metaphor, don't we?
You go to buy some fruit and you want bananas. Because you can't get good bananas anywhere. So you walk down a road and there's lots of stalls and there's one that just sells bananas. It's from the bananaexpert.com. And then opposite them, there's a stall that also have bananas, which look equally nice, but they also sell bric-a-brac, crisps, handbags, shoes.
All sorts.
Yeah. Where do you think the expertise with bananas is going to lie? It's going to be with banana.com. Similarly, if I get further down the road and somebody says, oh, love to see you, Paula. I really want to, do you know where I can get some bananas around here? I ain't sending them to the bric-a-brac store where you can buy anything or everything. I'm going to send them to the banana people. Okay.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is, once that banana person becomes known as the banana person, they can start putting
they can charge whatever they like.
And they can offer all sorts of different banana-based things.
Exactly.
Right up to like gold-plated bananas or bespoke bananas, grow your own bananas.
Enough of the metaphor.
Enough. I realise
she's spinning off with the metaphor.
Spinning off. Now I'm going to have a quick. You just carry on chatting. I'm going to have a look at some of our comments here.
Okay.
Okay. See, Caroline said, please don't stop with the metaphors. She likes my metaphors.
No, that was before you.
Oh, was it?
Okay, yeah, right. That was please don't stop, something else.
Okay. So so here's an interesting one. I just had somebody phone and say they can only afford £50. I said, I'm sorry. She called back and booked full price the next day.
There we go.
Now that involves some discomfort around saying no, some discomfort around thinking, well, the £50 is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But actually the outcome is brilliant for having that courage around knowing what you've got and what it's worth. And that if you start giving it away for free, the whole dynamic is really messed up.
It really is. And then you lose your boundaries. And then, by the way, out of the kindness of your heart and having sort of loose boundaries, you then actually become across as inauthentic because people don't know where they stand.
Yeah.
You are much better off being very, very strict about your pricing, very strict about, here's my stall, my shop, here's what I sell. If you don't want to buy it,
that's fine.
That's fine. You know, we don't go into John Lewis and things are like, oh well, that's £100, but 70 if you can't afford it. It doesn't happen in real life like that. So, you know, value what you offer in your shop, metaphorical shop, and be clear on the boundaries. It's very, very important.
Yeah. Value yourselves. Absolutely. That's where it all starts. Caroline, you're absolutely right. You start by valuing yourself and what you do.
Absolutely.
Before you move on to anything else.
Guessing bit.
Great subject. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Okay. Now this is an interesting one here from Amanda Martin. Hi, Amanda. Pensioners want everything free because of their age, yet they are often the wealthiest people. They are the wealthiest people quite often.
Well, that's the culture in this country, isn't it?
That is the culture in this country, but it is part of our responsibility to re-educate people about the value of what you are providing. And Emma's dead right. If somebody just doesn't get it, and they want to take things from your stall and not pay for them, then I'm afraid you need to tell them to put those things back and move on. Yeah. Because
it's theft.
And if you keep doing that, going straight back into the metaphors, you're not going to be there with a stall at all for very long.
No.
Okay? And I guess that's the big lesson for us, is that sometimes when you're pushed through the uncomfortability of having to
make that word lovely.
Thank you.
Love it.
Having to sell something, you need to remember I have a really great product here.
Right.
It's priced really well. It gets results. I've got the testimonials. I've got the qualifications.
Exactly.
And if I don't make the sale, there is no business. No businesses in the world ever have actually been real until the first sale is made, until that first transaction is made. So, you know, until you make a sale, you're not actually in business.
No.
And you're not going to build a thriving therapy business. And that's what we want you to do. Because we want you to be properly financially rewarded. And we want you to help lots of people.
And if you're not asking for the sale, you're not serving your clients, because you don't stop them shopping. If you don't ask for the business for the bananas, they'll go and find bananas somewhere else. Okay?
Or they'll spend it on something a lot worse for them than bananas.
Exactly.
If that helps you to...
They'll go and buy a Mars bar or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd like to do something now, and I'd like to be positively salesy. Okay? And I want to lay out, for those of you that don't know, because let's, again, not assume that everybody that interacts with you and your content knows exactly what you do, or how they can get hold of it, or what you charge for it.
Well, we had an example, didn't we?
We had an example this week when we were talking about...
it was after the Perfect Intro Challenge.
After the Perfect Intro Challenge, and one of our lovely participants had shared her video, which she'd produced in 5 days. And
on the challenge.
And she'd already had 401 views after I watched it.
Yeah.
She said, I've had 400 views on this video just by sharing
in 24 hours.
In 24 hours.
Mm.
And I said, well, that's amazing. How else could you get 400 sets of eyes onto exactly what you do
into your shop
for free? She said, oh yeah, but most of them were just friends and family, so it doesn't count. And I said, well, the thing is, I bet a lot of your friends and family, who can at the start be your greatest advocates and sort of referrals, don't actually know what you do. They don't really know what you do, because you haven't been able to articulate it to them really well, and you certainly haven't condensed it into
until this point,
into a 2-minute video. So what happens there is that you're reminding people who know you but don't know what you do, right? And I think we have to we learn as much from you guys as you learn from us. Trust me.
Absolutely, yeah.
We love working with you, and I thought, God, that's really interesting. Do people that watch our content know exactly what we do? Have we got our stall properly laid out? So we're going to make a couple of changes around here. And at the end of all of our emails, we're going to say, here are the 4 ways that we can help you when you're ready. Okay, so here's our stall, and here are just the 4 things on it. Take it or leave it when you're ready. When you're ready. So number 1 is and think how this would work for your business and what marketing assets you've got available now. Number 1, download our free training.
Yeah.
Okay, click here.
Yeah.
And discover how to stand out from the crowd and get more clients. Okay. Number 2, sign up and join our free Facebook group, Thriving Therapists. Anybody that's watching this that isn't already in Thriving Therapists, please join us. It's a great place for therapists to be. So that's action number 2. You can join our free group and become part of our great community. Number 3, if you would like to join as an enrolled student of Therapy Marketing School and get all our training, which is all CPD accredited, yay! You can get started here for $37 a month. Cancel anytime, click here. And then number 4, or if you'd like one-to-one specialist coaching with either Emma or myself or both of us, then click here. So we've laid our stall out. It's completely transparent. There's a place to click and go. So there's a call to action against all of those.
And then people know what we're offering, don't they?
And on all our emails, and as you know, it's a legal requirement anyway, it says if you're not into this stuff, unsubscribe. Okay? So again, don't be worried about unsubscribes, because some people are going to walk past your stall no matter how well labeled it is, and that's just part of being in business.
Right.
So I'm trying to turn this into a banana metaphor, but it's not coming. So, so Emma, anything else to say? Thank you. There's a lot of that sounds really clear. Absolutely. Your service is wonderful, Wad. Thank you very much. That makes us very happy.
Yeah, it does.
I am going to be salesy after this, and I'm going to post all of those links that I just talked about into the comments below or above this video, depending on where you're seeing it.
Oh, mashed banana, chopped banana.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that working on
there? Yeah, maybe.
Banana milkshake.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that our stall is clearly laid out, and we're being salesy in a really, really positive way. And the challenge, I think, this week, and let me just get my props. We always like to have a prop involved. So you take that one.
Paul is very good with props.
I'll take that one. Okay, you ready for this? Oh, remember what we're going to do. That's it. So the big message here is, when it comes to being salesy doesn't have to be a bad thing, and we know we need to. Part of our job is to push you slightly out of your comfort zone. So gloves off. Gloves off.
Exactly.
Gloves are off.
Gloves off.
Are off. We want you to get out there, and we want you to share your message and sell your amazing therapy to the people that you can help the most, unashamedly, and with our full support.
Indeed.
So any comments or questions after this live, just post them in the box below, and we will like it, share it, and we will be back very, very soon. So it's bye from me, from Paula.
And bye from me.
See you soon. Gloves off, everybody. Gloves off.
Bye.